and gentlemen, Brad Paisley.
Woohoo! Hey,
Hey.
how is everybody?
Cowboy
Oh,
hat.
Good. How are
Hey,
you?
how are you?
Wonderful.
Good.
Good. What, let's see, how many we got here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 or so, Brad? 15?
I think Levi Jessen is frozen.
Here. He has been for a while.
Frozen and also retro.
Very, very posed.
Brad, we're really liking your digs behind you there. That's nice.
Thanks. That's just a kitchen. Kitchen with nothing going on in it this
We
morning.
heard about you and Kimberly this morning. We talked about you guys in your walk-in closet. It was a very good conversation. It sounded very similar to my home.
Yeah, I mean, these are interesting times, and I think being organized is important.
We've got, by the way, it's 37 degrees out here, Brad, and we got to give it up for David. David's looking forward to this flowers report.
So, yeah, what's up with David? I'm trying to figure out which one's David. Hang on, I'm looking.
He's the one
This one.
outside.
Oh, the one outside. Yeah, right.
It's not warm here, Brad.
No.
It's not warm at all right now.
Oh, for you people, though, you're so used to that. 37 ought to be like, David's probably wearing shorts. I can't see below.
Hey, David, for the record, we don't need to see, by the way.
I've seen grumpy old men. I know. You guys are all.
Does anybody have a question for Brad? And can you do it in less in your Minnesota accent just a little bit there so he understands you?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
What are you and your family doing right now to pass the time?
Well, at the moment, they're about to start their homeschool,
Okay.
which is going incredibly weird. It's I don't know if are the rest of you finding like that your kids are just about as motivated as the rest of us to accomplish anything in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, so it's like,
Where's Fortnite?
yeah. Well, there's a lot of, we got VR, which is great because like they've got the PlayStation VR and stuff, and they play with. They've got a friend in California. They got a friend here in Nashville that they haven't been able to see, who's up north of town. And the four of them get on their VR rigs, and it's crazy. They got the mask on, and they're playing. There's a game called Rec Room where you can play anything you want, and they play dodgeball, and they play, and it's amazing. I mean, they're playing dodgeball with a kid in California in VR.
Yeah.
So that's the only good thing about this happening these days is we do have that kind of technology. Can you imagine if it was 1990 right now, we wouldn't be doing this.
No. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
No, we'd be playing Pong.
Right.
That would not be
Exactly.
funny. Hey, Brad,
That'd be fun.
so these people, they all won, most of them, except for, where did she go? Because everybody keeps moving.
I think
Julie, was it Julie? No. Everybody won by playing a game called Pick a Piece of Paisley.
Oh, pick a piece of Paisley.
Yeah, pick a
Fantastic.
piece of Paisley.
Well, that terrifies me, but all right.
So we would play little pieces, little picks of you picking a song, and it was no voice, just your guitar, just little tiny little moments of your songs, and these people nailed it. I mean, they got it right out of the gate. So they are super fans, not only of your voice, but they know your guitar.
Really?
Yeah. Pick a piece of Paisley.
pick a piece of Paisley.
Pick a piece of
Okay,
Paisley.
so
It was
Ready?
little moments. If you
we're gonna play it. We'll play it right now. Hang on. We'll do it. Let me grab. I'm gonna see how good you really are at this. Let me get a guitar.
Home tour of
Me
Brad's
too.
house.
This is good.
I'll quiz you.
Look at the ceilings.
I know.
I love the
Great.
ceilings.
Cribs quarantine edition.
They're just wood.
Hi, Julie.
Just wood, folks. Just wood. Here, hang on.
Are
Yeah,
you
so
roller skates? Because you're moving really smooth.
I have a steady cam and roller skates.
It's got the
All right,
wheelie
here.
shoes.
Sit this here. All right. You act
You're gonna play a little more.
weirdos. Let me see if you guys know your stuff. Let me see if I can set this balance it.
Hey,
It's
Julie,
like
are you ready? I know you're playing in your car.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Ready?
Ready for you. Mud on the tires. Mud on the tires. Mud on the tires. Mud on the tires. What do I win? What do I
Stop
win?
it.
What?
Let them play. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You're the worst.
You know what? Hold on. Swedberg told me to stay out of this mostly, so I'm out. I'm out. Celebrity!
Stop.
But you know what? Nobody else is chiming in. You guys, we played this last week. One of you won off of Celebrity. Don't be gun shy. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
The sound cut out. I couldn't hear it.
You're driving, Julie.
I'm sitting still. I would never
You guys
do it.
ready?
We're ready.
I'm playing terrible. Messed up. Never mind. You can't get it
I
right
don't
if
know
I
it.
can't play it. No, I don't have a capo. Hang on. Let me do it. I'll do another one. Ready?
Lullaby.
Very good.
Okay, good job, guys. I feel like holding myself.
Let me think of another.
We danced.
Here, hang on 1 second. I'm trying to think of what I can play here without a pick.
Pressure.
Without a pick.
You can't pick a piece of paisley without a pick.
Yeah, it's Paisley Pickless. Pickless Paisley. I'm trying to think. Have I had any other hits?
Oh, you know what? Let's go with one of mine. What is a song that you loved as a kid that you played on guitar when you were younger, maybe when you first started learning, but it's just a huge tune to you, but we'd know it, maybe.
Oh, I know one.
Alabama. Alabama.
Alabama, right. Which one?
Front on the front porch. He's about people gonna catch in a ballpark.
Oh.
Dixieland Delight.
Something Saturday. What is it?
You got it.
Who?
I think
Who got
Sean
it?
had it.
Is that Dixieland Delight?
Dixieland Delight.
There we go.
Yes, I've only been playing country records for 30 years. This is great.
You got exactly no words right just now, Chris. You're like, something out of ballpark.
Shirt rock something. Yeah. Wrong song.
You said ballpark. Ballpark's not in the song. What else?
I mixed them all up. Give me another one.
What's in your glass, Sean?
Coffee.
Uh-huh.
You're working from home. We know it's not just coffee.
There's no coffee in that cup.
Unless it's got some Baileys in it. Yeah.
So, all right. So, like people like Amber and Haley and Cynthia. Cynthia looks like she's at home.
Mhm.
Haley looks like she's at work. You at work?
Yep.
Where's work?
So my family owns Cal Spa. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's just like a hot tub dealer. They're based out of California, and so they own the 2 locations here in Minnesota. So I just help out in the office while I'm in school.
Okay, cool.
Can I get a hot tub?
I work at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, so I
Oh.
moved my patient schedule around so I could come see this today.
Oh, that's so nice of you, and terrible. It's terrifying. No, that's great. I'm glad you could do that. Are you at work at Rochester now?
Mm-hmm.
That's you're at the Mayo Clinic there?
Yeah, I'm in my office.
Amazing. How's things going at the Mayo Clinic? Are you guys making some headway with this?
It's going. We're slowly seeing patients again, so
And are they working on treatments and things there?
They just got a big grant for some plasma and stuff, so we'll see. And they're doing a lot of testing and antibody testing.
Yeah, we need that. Please figure this out for us so we can all get together one of these days for real.
Yeah, that's people way smarter than me though, so.
Well, we'll see. Patty's got a couple of bouncers behind her.
I got my security guard with me. My grandkids. Question for you. I want to know what's the best prank you've done to one of the artists that have been in one of your concerts? Because you're always a jokester.
You're right. I think the best prank was probably, there's been a bunch that were great. We did one where with Kelly Pickler, this was embarrassing. We were in her home state, I think North Carolina, maybe. And she'd been on and she's a great sport. So we knew we could get away with something. And we did a Photoshop thing where when she was on American Idol, she had this, she was kind of open about the fact that she may have had some enhancement done on a certain part of her anatomy. And so we did a before and after compilation video before her concert that was basically like let's play You Be the Judge, and we photoshopped photos of her where she looked like Dolly Parton in a lot of some, and the after photos, and then like a 10-year-old boy in the before photos, and said, let's play You Be the Judge before, after. And we just did that. We showed all these photos, and then it was like, please welcome Kelly Pickler, who then was standing on the side of the stage in a tight tank top like she always wore, having to walk on stage after that video.
Did she get you back?
Yeah, she did. I don't remember exactly what, but not nearly as good as that. And another thing we did was one time to Eric Church, we oh man, it was brutal. We were playing this fair in Pennsylvania, and this old fair, the York County Fair, is like it's known as the oldest fair in America. And I think the fair board, the people that work on the fair board were there when it began. And we did a video montage with my video wall during his song of his song Guys Like Me. And we put an entire video montage of the worst men in the history of the world that just came up behind him as he was singing Guys Like Me. And it started out like tame, like it was like people you just don't respect and celebrities that are sort of like, scummy and whatever. But then it went to like world leaders like Hitler, and it was nuts. And so he's singing Guys Like Me, Drink Too Many Beers, and he's singing this song, and he's looking behind him, and there's Saddam Hussein, and there's and
Glad you didn't have a picture of Pontius Pilate.
yeah, right. And
That is brutal.
That's a great
it was
prank.
brutal. And then it was the fair board got mad at him because they thought that was his video, and they threatened to not pay Eric because they just said it was just such a tasteless video that he decided to show during his show. But we talked them into still paying him. So
You should have just hit his sunglasses.
what'd you say?
You should have just hit his sunglasses.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's a great, that's a good prank. What would he do without his cataracts or glasses?
Oh, that's good.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Who are your musical influences? Like, who do you listen to?
Well, I grew up liking a lot of the classic guys like Buck Owens, and early on that I grew up with a grandpa that was like really, really good about teaching me about the old country music. He loved stuff like Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard and stuff like that. So I started out like that, but I've listened to it my whole life. So I also like everything. I mean, I listen to, you know, a lot of different kinds of music. There's only a few things that I don't love. Like, I don't love some sort of like I can't get into certain kinds of rap and things like that that just maybe are above my head. But I love anything that's guitar based. I really like anything that's got a guitar in it. I'll listen to it if it's good.
I have a question. What is the favorite, of all your hit songs, what's your favorite song out of all the hits that have, you know, really been big?
My favorite song? Well, my first hit was a song called "He Didn't Have to Be," and the actual program director of this station was there the day I played that for the first time ever for people. I had just written it, and that ended up being my first #1 because of stations like this that decided to take a gamble on me when I was new. And that song's always going to be special because I still believe that having written that and had that on my first album and the way it affected people, that was like the thing that kept me around. Otherwise, you folks would not be doing this today with me.
Well, we wouldn't be doing this at all today, Brad, if it wasn't for this.
Let me see. Doug Paisley. That's true. If it wasn't for Doug Paisley.
Dude, he is the nicest guy in the world. I'm telling you. Your
No, he's
dad
not.
is so cool.
He's not cool if you draw on the wall with a marker when you're 5. Then he's mean. He's mean at that point.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
I have
guys, I'm sorry. We're going to need to wrap up here in just a second.
Okay.
But no, go ahead. Is it Julie?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My question is, you and your wife opened the store down there, and I was just wondering, like, what is the best thing that you've seen come out of opening that for people?
Oh, that's a great question, Julie. Thank you for asking. And it's been a really interesting for those that does everybody know what she's talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In Nashville, that's a free grocery store. We opened it. It's for people who get down their luck and lose their job, and we opened it in March, a little bit early, because we saw what was happening. And it's a crazy endeavor. We had spent 2 years trying to get it right, trying to figure out how to do this exactly right. And the next thing you know, basically all hell breaks loose. And so we opened a grocery store for people that lose their jobs, just as everybody's losing their jobs. And it's been crazy. We're 4 or 5 times capacity of what we thought we could do in the first couple months already, but we're making it work. And what's been great is people like yourself that are aware of it, and we've gotten enough sort of attention that people are donating. We're able to reach the need right now. And it's been eye-opening, because at first the idea was to have this great experience for people to walk in, and it feels like a normal grocery store, but you don't have to pay. So it's dignity for the parents that maybe are really down on their luck. And then we ended up having to, change to a delivery service, and also change to where it's not just people that lose their jobs. We were giving meals to the elderly as well, delivering to them so they don't have to be out. We had a lot of people that were elderly right around the area where the store is in Nashville. And we're evolving as it goes. But it felt like it was meant to be. Like, of all the things to spend 2 years prepping this place, building it, getting it ready, and then we open in March of this year it's got to be divine timing in some way, I think.
Hey, Brad, as we wrap real quick, where can we send our money to help you with this?
Oh, you know what? That's nice of you. It's not necessary, but at this point from up there, but if you want to, it's thestore.org, thestore.org. But again, I'm sure there's things in your own area too that you need to be looking at. How is your city doing? How's Minneapolis doing?
We're going to address that. Actually, guys, a side note, Monday morning, we're going to talk about that at 6:20 or 6:30. We have something that we're going to do as a radio station, the Chris Carr Company Morning Show. If you guys could be listening, we're going to need your help next week. So
Can I ask a
I
quick
guess we
question?
leave it at that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
sure.
have to wrap, but go ahead.
That's okay.
Just,
Go ahead.
just wondering, you've previously done collaborations with other artists. So my question would be, who would you like to do a collaboration with, and how does that process work, and who was your favorite?
Favorite collaborator ever it has got to be Carrie, because we have such a bond and we've done so many years of things together in one way or another. But I love the collaboration aspect of this, and the process basically works where you just ask. And sometimes the answer is no, but for the most part, you usually have some sort of relationship with someone. But I'm the kind of guy that, I mean, when I get to know somebody, getting to know like Mick Jagger, I was like, hey, will you come to Nashville and hang out? And he's like, yeah. And he did. And the next thing you know, we wrote and recorded a song on the last record, I think. No, 2 records ago. I can't even remember when it was. And same with John Fogerty, the same thing. And something we've been doing recently is that now it's like no one can go anywhere. So the playing field is just leveled. And so I'm writing with people on Zoom, and I'll say this is really neat. Myself, John Fogerty, and Darius Rucker have been writing on Zoom together.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's the 3 of us on just like this, but it's 3 squares, and we're writing a song together that is just an idea we had. And these collaborations become so much fun right now because again, it's not like, because it's like when you realize, oh, they can't come here anyway, let's just do it. There's a lot of ways to do that technologically, I think.
So as we wrap, on that note, what you asked Mick Jagger, when the COVID-19 thing is all said and done, Brad, could you come to Minneapolis and hang out?
I would love to come up there and hang out. I'm hoping that's sooner than later, and I'm hoping that that like in Rochester there, they figure this out and they can get us all back, in the same building again at some point. Wouldn't that be nice? It's just I crave that. I really crave being able to see people, and you guys have been so supportive throughout this too, musically, and like the current song says, we're all in this together. It's really nice of you to throw a happy hour Zoom at 9 a.m. But it's also really, really weird that you guys are drinking at 9 a.m. But really, you know what? In these times, I guess it's not weird. It's not
It's
weird.
normal.
It's normal.
Great song.
Especially if you ask Western Wisconsin, they've been at it for hours, so not a big deal.
Yeah, it's
Thank
like,
you.
yeah, that's been the fun part about this, is watching how people, it's like it's 9 a.m. somewhere. Here we are.
Hey, Brad, thank you so much, man. This has been a great distraction for a lot of us, and everybody.
Yes.
Brad Paisley.
Yeah, thank you.
Bless you. Please be safe, everybody. Okay.
You too.
Too.
Yeah,
You.
you too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Everybody good?
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thanks, K102.
Well, you're
Thank you.
welcome. And guys,
Thank
we
you
do
very
have an
much.
announcement on. We really need your help Monday morning. It's amazing. You talk about divine, that Brad brought that up. We're going to talk about something Monday morning before 7. So if we could get you guys to be the catalyst, it'd be great, because so many people are going into work later. If you guys are up, we'd love to hear it. I can't say it yet, so. But it involves her a lot.
Yeah.
And us. And we're going to do something really cool, and we want you to be a part of it. So,
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank
you
you.
guys have
Thank
fun?
you very
you.
much.
It was
That was
neat.
great.
Dude, he's the nicest guy in the world.
Very
And apple doesn't fall far from the tree. His dad is really just a sweetheart. I'd never met his mother, but his dad goes on tour with him, and he's just the nicest guy to talk to. If you ever get
I
the
met his
chance-
mom and dad. I met his mom and dad both last year in Laughlin.
Oh, did you? So you know.
Yeah, yeah, they're just, yeah, his dad's a semi driver. His dad drives
he
his
is
truck.
now. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. They're just really good people. So Thank you, everybody. And
So
thanks to
cool.
K102.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Have a good weekend.
Yep,
K102 is my
Happy
country.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Calls